It's the calm before the storm in Salem, but that peace is about to shatter. Kristen DiMera is free. And the very moment those prison doors swing open, the entire town feels it, a chill, a pulse, a tremor that only one woman can cause. Because when Kristen returns, she never comes quietly. She comes armed with secrets, vengeance, and a mother's love that borders on madness. But this time, her freedom isn't about revenge. It's about redemption, or so she claims. And the first lives she'll shake to their core? Brady Black and Sarah Horton Kuriaki's. Their fragile new connection, their attempt at healing, is about to be tested like never before. Before Kristen DiMera's shadow even stretches across Salem again, something unexpected begins to bloom, quietly, tenderly, between two of the town's most wounded hearts. Brady Black has always carried his pain like a secret scar, visible to no one, yet shaping everything he does. He's lost so much: love, trust, and the belief that happiness could ever last. And then there's Sarah Horton, a woman who knows betrayal so intimately that it has reshaped her soul. Her marriage to Xander Kuriakis was supposed to be her forever, until it shattered under the weight of lies and heartbreak. When she finally walked away, she didn't just lose a husband, she lost faith in her own judgment. That's when Brady stepped in, not with promises or pity, but with quiet understanding. He saw her breaking, and instead of telling her to move on, he gave her space to breathe. Instead of offering clichés, he offered compassion. Their trip to the rage room was more than a storyline filler. It was therapy, disguised as chaos. The smashing of plates, the sound of glass against concrete, every blow was a release of months of bottled-up pain. And when Sarah laughed through her tears, Brady joined her, two broken souls finding brief peace in destruction. In that moment, something shifted. Grief turned to connection. Anger softened into affection. And for the first time in a long time, both of them believed that maybe, just maybe, love could heal rather than hurt. It was fragile, yes. But it was real. A quiet romance in a noisy town. A bond built not on passion or impulse, but on empathy and shared survival. If any couple in Salem deserved peace, it was them. But peace and Salem have never been friends, and just as Sarah begins to trust again, fate decides to test her heart all over again. Far from the light of new love, behind thick concrete walls and steel bars, another story has been rewriting itself in silence. Kristen DiMera, once Salem's most feared woman, now its most misunderstood prisoner, has spent months in confinement. To the world, she's the one who shot E.J. DiMera, her own brother. A DiMera turned traitor. But in Salem, truth is a flexible word, and nothing stays hidden forever. The real story is far more tragic, and far more dangerous. Kristen didn't pull the trigger that night. Her daughter, Rachel Black, did. And Kristen did what any desperate mother might do in the name of love: she lied. She confessed. She took the blame. She traded her freedom for her child's innocence. It wasn't justice. It was sacrifice. Inside that cold cell, Kristen lived with one truth: she was protecting her daughter from a nightmare that could destroy her. And for months, she's kept that secret buried, a secret that's now clawing its way toward the surface. When this truth reaches Brady, it won't just change how he sees Kristen, it will destroy everything he thought he knew about his own family. Because in the end, Kristen wasn't acting out of malice. She was acting out of love, twisted, reckless, self-destructive love. And in Salem, love like that always leaves wreckage behind. When the truth about Kristen's sacrifice finally hits Brady, it lands like a hurricane, fast, violent, and impossible to contain. Every emotion he's buried for years comes roaring back. The anger, the grief, the confusion, all fighting for space inside him. He's furious that Kristen lied, that Marlena kept silent, that everyone he trusted decided he didn't deserve the truth. For Brady, this isn't just betrayal, it's violation. He built a life around lies he didn't know existed. But anger has always been Brady's armor, and beneath it lies something even more dangerous: understanding. Because deep down, a part of him gets it. He knows what it means to protect Rachel at all costs. He knows what it feels like to look at his daughter and realize there is nothing he wouldn't do to keep her safe. So yes, he's angry at Kristen. But he's also haunted by the realization that he might have done the same thing. And that's the torment, the psychological war that will define him. He can't forgive Kristen, but he can't fully condemn her, either. Because her sin was born from love, the same love that still binds them through their daughter. That connection, Rachel, is the unbreakable thread that ties them together. It's both their greatest blessing and their eternal curse. Even if Brady tries to move forward with Sarah, the ghost of Kristen will always linger, not in his mind, but in his heart. Because love, in Salem, doesn't die. It just hides, waiting for the next storm. Even before the news breaks, Sarah feels it, that familiar unease that sweeps through Salem before the storm hits. Her connection with Brady has been a slow burn, gentle, respectful, and real. They've built it on honesty, one painful confession at a time. Every laugh in the rage room, every late night talk about regret and forgiveness, all of it created something rare: trust. But honesty, in Salem, never survives for long. The day Kristen DiMera walks free, that fragile trust begins to tremble. The town feels it immediately. At the cafe, voices hush. At the DiMera mansion, servants exchange wary looks. Even the air seems thicker, heavy with memory and danger. Because when Kristen returns, peace packs its bags and leaves. She doesn't sneak in quietly. She arrives with presence, a woman reborn, a legend of scandal wrapped in silk and secrets. Every step she takes reminds Salem who she is, the woman who can destroy love simply by walking into the room. For Sarah, it's not jealousy that grips her, it's fear. Not fear that Kristen will hurt Brady physically, but that she'll awaken something dormant inside him. Because passion that fierce, that intoxicating, doesn't vanish. It lies in wait. Sarah knows the look in Brady's eyes when he speaks of Kristen, the blend of anger and longing that no one fully understands. She's seen it. She's heard it in his voice when he says Rachel's name. That tether between them, the child they share, is a bond Sarah can never compete with. So as the whispers spread through Salem, one truth becomes clear: Kristen isn't just back to reclaim her freedom. She's back to reclaim her power. And Sarah fears she already knows exactly where to start: with Brady's heart. In Salem, love is never a simple choice, it's a battlefield dressed as a dream. Brady Black now stands between two worlds, one that heals him, and one that haunts him. With Sarah, he finds peace, mornings filled with laughter instead of tension, honesty instead of manipulation. She represents the life he's always wanted: steady, pure, and safe. But with Kristen, he feels something deeper, raw, wild, uncontrollable. It's passion laced with danger. Addiction masquerading as love. Kristen knows it too. She can feel his pulse shift the moment they're in the same room. No matter how much time has passed, their chemistry is electric, and she's not afraid to use it. She tells herself she's changed, that prison gave her perspective. That she's no longer the schemer who manipulates her way into love. But deep down, Kristen's the same woman who fights to own the man she loves. And she's never been one to lose gracefully. If winning Brady back means burning Sarah's fragile world to ashes, then so be it. Because in Kristen's mind, she isn't the villain, she's the mother fighting for her family, the woman correcting the injustice that tore them apart. To her, this isn't seduction. It's restoration. And that's what makes her so dangerous. Sarah's compassion is her strength. Kristen's obsession is her weapon. And Brady, torn between peace and passion, becomes the prize in a war neither woman intends to lose. As this triangle reignites, Salem prepares for heartbreak, because when love burns this hot, someone always gets scorched. The moment Kristen's release hits the news, Salem begins to unravel. Old wounds reopen, old alliances fracture, and in the span of a single day, calm gives way to chaos. Marlena Evans watches from her office window, dread clouding her face. She's seen what Kristen can do, the emotional carnage she leaves behind. Marlena knows Brady has worked hard to heal, to build something new with Sarah. But she also knows that once Kristen re-enters his orbit, temptation and turmoil will follow close behind. At the DiMera mansion, EJ slams a glass onto the bar, the sound echoing like thunder. He hasn't forgotten the lies, the years his sister's schemes almost destroyed their empire. He vows to keep his distance, but deep down, he knows, once a DiMera makes a move, the whole family feels the tremor. And somewhere in the shadows, Xander Kyriakis listens, that sly half-smile spreading across his face. Because chaos for Brady means opportunity for him. If Brady's distracted, maybe Sarah will look back. Maybe heartbreak will make her vulnerable again. And in Salem, no heartbreak ever goes unexploited. Meanwhile, caught in the center of it all is the one person who never asked for any of this, Rachel Black. Too young to understand, yet old enough to feel the tension in every room. She senses the whispers about her mother. She hears the anger in her father's voice. And beneath it all, guilt begins to grow, guilt for the secret that started it all. For Rachel, her mother's freedom might feel like victory, but deep down, she fears the truth. Kristen's return may cost her father's peace, and maybe even his love, forever. Because in Salem, no secret stays buried, and no heart escapes the fallout. When Kristen DiMera walks free, even freedom itself feels like a curse. So where does this all lead? Expect emotional showdowns, Brady torn between love and loyalty, Sarah forced to fight for her place in his heart, and Kristen determined to rewrite her story. The question isn't if Salem will fall into chaos, it's how fast. Will Brady choose the calm of Sarah, or the storm of Kristen? Will Rachel's truth unite them or destroy them? And will Kristen truly change, or is this just another DiMera illusion, crafted to reclaim power? Because when Kristen DiMera walks free, no heart in Salem is safe. One thing's for certain, Salem is about to be shaken to its core. Old flames, new betrayals, and a love triangle that could rewrite every rule. As Kristen takes her first steps back into the world, she's not just coming home, she's coming for something. Maybe forgiveness, revenge, maybe both, but one whisper echoes through Salem tonight. Kristen's back. And that means nothing, and no one, will ever be the same again.